This is Merach's newest bike, the S29, and it's the first piece of equipment I've ever reviewed where the newest feature that they're marketing as the selling point is by far the worst thing about it, when the rest of it's actually pretty good. Let's get into why. What's up guys, Kyle with HypertroFit.com, the best place to design your home gym and develop your training program. And I'm gonna get right to the point. I would not buy this bike, plain and simple. This is not because it's not a good bike. Actually, the bike is the best part about this piece of equipment, which is why it kind of sucks to say this. And that's not all bad for Merach here. They did send me this free for review, and I do actually have another one of their pieces that I'm reviewing in the future, and I've reviewed a rower in the past. So I don't dislike the company. I think they actually make some pretty good stuff. But the big selling point of this new bike is this new 21.5-inch display. And it has a ton of problems. But before we get to the display, I do want to talk about the bike itself because there are some good things about it, and there are other models that don't have the screen and same problems on it. And so that's why this is not a complete lost cause. First of all, the bike itself is very small and compact, which is amazing for a cardio piece in a home gym. When we're talking about the length and width of this thing taking up almost nothing, it's on wheels, easy to move around wherever you want to, except with the screen model, it does have to be plugged in, so keep that in mind. There are variants of this bike that don't have to be plugged in and you manually power them, so that's another plus in those categories. But the bike itself is really solid. There's actually only one real complaint that I have about the bike itself, and that is that the handle adjustments don't have nearly as many height options as the seat adjustment. And that's a strange decision for me. I don't really understand why they went this route. You can actually see that this has 10 different levels that it can go to on the seat, and the handlebar only has 7. So when you get to the higher heights of the seat to accommodate longer legs, the handlebars don't match that, which is kind of a strange decision. I can still get into a very comfortable position with this at 6'1". I wish the handles could go a little bit higher, but it's not a huge deal for me. If you were 6'4", 6'5", might become a bigger issue, but not a big deal. Overall, the bike itself is awesome. It's incredibly smooth. It's a 40-pound flywheel resistance on the front, going through 16 levels of resistance, and it feels awesome to use. It makes almost no sound whatsoever, so if you need to keep a quiet environment, this does an exceptional job at that, and it's a great workout. This is everything you would want from the bike standpoint for a cycle. If you're just trying to hop on a bike, get cardio in, and get a good workout in, this does the job. It's got a couple different places to put water bottles in the front, in the back, and it's got a really nice adjustment knob here where you can control the resistance through just rolling through, like I said, those 0 to 16 levels. Up front, we have the phone and tablet holder. This is also pretty nice. The one downside to this is that if you put your phone in landscape, the only side that opens is this top edge. The bottom edge doesn't move. So if you have a phone in landscape, it's going to be slightly off center. If you have a tablet in landscape, you can flip it and put it up here to center it nicely. So not a huge deal, but something worth calling out. The handles only have the neutral and horizontal positions, so no angles there if you're looking for something like that. And then the height adjustments for the seat and the handlebars do have pop pins on each of these, as well as can be screwed in further to further tighten it. And that actually does lead me to one other thing I don't like about this, again, because of the screen. There is no limiter to being able to pull this up and out. So theoretically, you can see that I am at the stop level, which means this is as high as these handlebars go. If you weren't paying attention to this and you are adjusting and pulling the handlebars up, you can very easily just pull these straight out of the hole. And because of how heavy this screen is, it's not super heavy, but it's heavy enough that if you pulled it out, it's going to dump forward and you could very easily drop this and break the screen. That may or may not be a problem because I'm going to tell you all about the screen later, but suffice it to say, it kind of hurts me to say all the bad things that I'm going to say about this because the bike itself is good. So if there are other variants that you see on Merach's website that are on sale that don't have this big screen on it, I think it's probably a pretty good buy. But when we get into the total package of what this screen brings with it, It's not great. Okay, so let's get into why I hate this screen. The first thing you need to understand about this bike is that this does not come with any software. This screen is strictly a mirroring device that you need another device to cast to. So you can do that with your phone, you can do that with a tablet, and in and of itself, that's not a problem. I really don't have an issue with it. If you're not trying to cast anything to this screen, then it just is responsible for showing off the metrics that the bike is running on, showing what your resistance is, your time is, all the basic things that you would expect out of a piece of cardio equipment. In terms of displaying those things, it's perfectly fine and I have zero issues with it. But where this falls woefully short is on the media side. This is a 21.5-inch screen and there is almost no possible way to actually use the whole thing. So because there is no built-in media to this and you are simply screencasting from a device to this, it uses the aspect ratio of the device in that process, meaning that if you don't have a perfectly 16:9 aspect ratio device that you are streaming from to this, you get black bars everywhere. And guess what? There isn't a single that I know of phone or tablet out there that has that perfect aspect ratio. So no matter what you're using, even if you are using the dedicated Merach app, it does not use the entire screen. It's not the worst when using their app because it at least goes bar to bar if you're using your phone, but on a tablet, it doesn't even do that. You get these big black horizontal bars, and if you try to stream a YouTube video, you're gonna get a small little chunk right in the center of the screen showing off that video. I can't tell you how disappointed I was from this because my main use case for this was going to be to just watch YouTube videos as I do my workouts. So the fact that I have this big screen in front of me and I'm only able to actually view the video on the small central piece of it is a huge problem. I am a software developer with 2 live apps. I understand the intricacies of developing 4 different products. This is not it. This is not good. The next problem is actually the devices themselves. We're in the year 2026. This is a brand new product for this year, and you can't even reliably stream over the air on every device. Actually, the newest iPhone 17, is not supported. It's supposedly coming in the future, but that doesn't even work. And then on the Android side of things, everything has to be hardwired. So they have a little connection point here at the bottom of the screen and you can plug in, but if you don't have, not even the newest iPhone, if you don't have some of the older iPhones or iPads, then you can't just directly stream over the air to this. So you actually have to plug in your device. Not only that, it doesn't even allow you to stream everything that you want to watch. So if you go to Netflix, for instance, you cannot stream that to the screen. Netflix will actually allow you to listen to it through the screen and even show you subtitles on the screen, but it blacks out the video. So you can't even watch Netflix videos streamed over the air. I'm told that you can hardwire it in and get some of them to work. It's a copyright issue, but it's just a joke. I mean, the fact that this thing is affixed to the front of your bike, comes with all these other issues, and then is also what's responsible for showing all of your data from your workouts. You're not going to be able to see those very well because it does have a little banner at the top that you can see while you're doing and watching other stuff, but if you hide that out of the way, you're not going to see that. And now you can't even watch the stuff that you want to watch. And if you do watch it, it's with these big, ugly black bars around. I cannot get over how bad of an experience this actually is. To get off of the rant for a second, the Merach app is actually pretty decent. One of the cool features about it is that when you do follow along with a workout, it does show you in the screen with the instructor what all of your metrics are, including your resistances. And then the workouts themselves do auto adjust the resistance of the bike for you, so you don't even have to do that. So if you're climbing up a hill and going on that full 16 resistance, it does it for you. When the rest periods happen and you drop to 3 resistance, it does that for you as well. So when you are using their dedicated app with their built-in workouts, it's actually not too bad of an experience. Again, you're not going to get the full screen for whatever reason, but it's actually a passable workout and it does a decent job. And when you compare this bike to the other bikes that they offer without the screen, there's typically around a $200 price difference between something like this, which I believe is releasing around $699, something like that, and then some other bikes that they have which are in like the $399, $499 range. it's actually much better for you if you want to watch something while you bike, because again, remember, this has to be near an outlet, so you can't just kind of put this anywhere that you want. It would be a much better idea for you to go buy a 32-inch Fire TV from Amazon. You can get one right now for like $96. Throw it on a wall mount wherever you want to put this thing, and then actually be able to stream anything you want on a 50% larger screen than even this, because this is a waste of time. Do not buy this bike. Not saying don't buy a Merach bike, buy one of the ones that don't have the screen on it. So then you get the nice little digital display of what your metrics are, and then figure out a way to watch your media somewhere else. This is not the way to do it. So I appreciate Merach sending out this bike for me to trial. Like I said, the bike itself is excellent, and I'm going to continue to use it regularly, but the way that I'm actually going to use it is just having my tablet here to watch whatever I want to watch, and then let the screen just control the metrics. And I hope Merach takes this feedback to heart, because they've actually made some major adjustments to some of their older pieces of equipment. One of the reviews I've got upcoming is actually evidence of that. But this being a brand new piece for 2026, it is not there and needs to be completely reworked before they consider throwing this size screen on here. So I hope you guys found this valuable and interesting. Let me know in the comments what you think, if you've used any of their other products, or if you've used any of their other older bikes, what those were like. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you again in the next one.